Hi all, today we are going to start a new session on Ashtanga Hridaya which will help you in your revision. I am going to bring you a fast track revision capsule on Maulika Siddhanta evam Ashtanga Hridaya paper. As we all know, different universities has announced the supplementary examination timetable and many students has asked me to do a complete video on this paper. In this lecture series, I am going to tell you how to attempt the examination and important topics which will be coming for the exams and a brief explanation of such topics. Without wasting time, let's move to the first chapter. Ashtanga Hridaya Sutrasthana, first chapter, Ayushkameya Adhyaya. In this chapter, for the essay or long essay, that is 10 marks questions, the questions are usually asked from the topics like Pada Chadushtaya or Chikitsa Chadushpata and the Roga Bheda. And for the 5 marks questions, usually Ayurveda Avatarana, Ashtangas, Prakriti, such questions are being asked. And also for the 3 marks questions, Agni Bheda, Koshta Bheda, such questions are being asked from this particular chapter. Moving with the important topics, Ayurveda Avatarana. The knowledge of Ayurveda was being transferred from Brahma, Daksha Prajapati, Ashwini Kumara, Indra, Atreya Punarvasu and his disciples Agnivesha, Bhela, etc. And these acharyas has written their own tantras or granthas, and from that this Ashtanga Hridaya has been originated. So Ashtanga Hridaya Utpatti from the Ayurvedic textbooks which were available and which was very elaborate and difficult to study. Acharya Vagpada has collected all the essence of Ayurveda and presented in the form of Ashtanga Hridaya, which is not too short and nor too elaborate. And the Ashtangas, 8 branches of Ayurveda. They are Kaya Bala Graha Urthvanga Shalyadamshta Jaravrishan Ashtavangani Tasyahu Chigilsa Yeshu Samshrita. So Kaya Chigilsa, Bala Chigilsa, Graha Chigilsa, Urthvanga, Shalya, Damshtra, Jara and Vrisha or Vrisha. These are the 8 branches, and individually any one of the branch can also be asked in the question for 3 marks. Next is Tridosha. Usually from this chapter, the context of Tridoshas are not seen in the previous year question papers. The questions will be seen in the 11th, 12th and 13th chapter regarding the doshas. So here the explanation of the base of Tridoshas has been mentioned. That is Vayuhu Pittam Kapaschedi Trayodosha Samasada Vikrita Vikrita Deham Kranti Te Vartayanti Cha. This the main 3 fundamental aspects of the body are Vata, Pitta and Kapha, and their perfect balance will help in leading to the health of the body, and if they are in imbalance, it will lead to the disease manifestation. And their sthana, as though they are present all over the body, their presence in especially particular parts has been mentioned. Like Hridnabhyor Adha is predominant of Vata dosha, Hridnabhyor Madhya is predominant of Pitta dosha, and Hridnabhyor Urthva is predominant of Kapha dosha. And dosha kala, similarly based on the Vaya, Aha, Ratri and Bhuktana, Anda, Madhya and Adi, that is end, middle and beginning of these time, the doshas which are being predominant are Vata, Pitta and Kapha. Agni Bheda, this has been asked for previous question papers. 4 types of Agnis are there: Vishamakni, Tikshnakni, Mandakni and Samakni. Vishamakni, the Vata predominant condition which will be irregular. Tikshnakni, the increased Agni and it is predominant of Pitta dosha. Mandakni, when the Kapha dosha is predominant, the Agni will be Mandya or decreased, and Samakni when all the 3 doshas are in balanced state. Koshta Bheda, this also has been asked in the previous years. The types of koshtas are Krura Koshta, Mridu Koshta and Madhya Koshta. When the Vata dosha is predominant, that is called as Krura Koshta. When the Pitta dosha is predominant, it is considered as Mridu Koshta. And when the Kapha dosha is predominant and also when all the 3 doshas are in balanced condition, such condition is called as Madhya Koshta. Prakriti, this is an important concept in Ayurveda, and also you can expect the questions. like Prakriti is being determined from the time of birth, that is Shukrartava union. From that time itself, the Prakriti will be determined based on the predominance of the dosha, and it won't harm the person, just like Visheneva Vishakrimi. As the poisonous organism is having the poison in its body and it is not harmful to the organism, just similar to that of Prakriti is also not harmful to the person. And there are 7 types of Prakriti, that is Ekadoshaja, Dvidoshaja and Tridoshaja. And among this Ekadoshaja, or among these 7 types of Prakriti, Vata Prakriti is considered as Hina, Pitta Prakriti as Madhya and Kapha Prakriti as Uttama, and the Samadhadu or the Prakriti which is having all the 3 doshas in equality or balanced state, it is considered as Shrestha. And the Dvidoshaja Prakriti, that is a combination of 2 doshas such as Vata Pitta, Pitta Kapha or Vata Kapha, such Prakriti is considered as Nindya. Tridosha Guna. The Vata dosha gunas are Ruksha, Lakhu, Shida, Khara, Sukshma and Chala. Pitta gunas are Sasneha, Tikshna, Ushna, Lakhu, Visra, Sara and Drava. Kapha dosha gunas are Snigdha, Shita, Guru, Manda, Shlekshna, Mritsna and Sthira. When there is increase or decrease, that is vriddhi or kshaya of 2 doshas, that particular condition is called as samsarga. And whenever there is increase or decrease, that is vriddhi or kshaya of 3 doshas, that particular condition is called as sannipada. Dushya. The dushyas are dhatus and malas. The saptadhatus are rasa, rakta, mamsa, meda, asti, majja and shukra. And the 3 malas are mutra, shakrit and sweda. These dhatus and malas are together known as dushya. Then Samanya Vishesha Siddhanta, Vrithihi Samanehi Sarvesham Vipariter Viparyeya. That is, Vritti is being caused by the Samana Dravya or the Dravyas having the same properties, and Kshaya is caused by the Dravyas having the opposite qualities. Rasadosha Sambandha. This has been asked in the previous question papers. That is, rasas or the Shad rasas are Rasaha, Swadamla Lavana, Tiktoshana, Kashayakaha. And the Rasadosha Sambandha is Mathura, Amla and Lavana rasas will be pacifying the Vata dosha and aggravating the Kapha dosha. And similarly, Kashaya, Tikta, Katu rasas will pacify the Kapha dosha and aggravates Vata dosha. And Kashaya, Tikta, Mathura rasas will be pacifying the Pitta dosha, and Amla, Lavana, Katu aggravates Pitta dosha. Tatradya Marudam Knanti Trayastiktadeyaha Kapam Kashaya Tikta Madhuraha Pitta Manyetu Kurvande. There are 3 types of Dravya mentioned, that is Shamana, Kopana and Swasthahita. 2 types of Viryas are mentioned, Ushna Virya and Shita Virya. And 3 types of Vipakas are mentioned, Mathura, Amla and Katu. This can be asked for 3 marks questions. Moving to important topic, Vimshati Guna. This has been asked for 10 marks and 5 marks questions previously. Guru Manda Himasnigdha Shlekshna Santra Mrudusthiraha Gunaha Sasukshma Vishada Vimshatihi Saviparyayaha. Guru is heavy and Lakhu is light in weight. Manda is slow and Tikshna is quick and fast. Hima is cold and Ushna is hot. Hima is also known as Shita. Snigdha having anxiousness or oily nature. Ruksha is dry. Shlekshna is smooth and Khara rough. Sandra solid and Drava liquid. Mridu soft and Kathina hard. Sthira stable and Chala moving. Sukshma stable or small, and Sthula big. Vishata non-slimy and Pichila slimy. These Vimshati gunas are also known as Gurvadi gunas, as it starts by the word Guru, and this Vimshati guna or Gurvadi gunas is a question which you can expect in Padartha Vijnana paper also. Roga Arogya Karana, the cause for Roga and Arogya. The cause for diseases or roga are Hina Yoga, Mithya Yoga and Ati Yoga of Kala, Artha and Karma. And the cause for health or Arogya is Samyak Yoga of Kala, Artha and Karma. Roga Rogastu dosha vaishamyam, dosha samyam arogata. When there is dosha vaishamya or imbalance of the doshas, that particular condition is called as roga. And when there is dosha samyata or balance of the three doshas, that is called as arogya. And there are two types of roga, Nija roga and Agantu roga. Nija roga are the diseases which are being produced due to the internal factors such as dosha dushti or because of the imbalance of dosha, dhatu and mala. And Agantu rogas are due to the external factors such as injury, fall, etc. And the two Adhisthana or seats of diseases are Kaya and Mana, that is body and mind. Manodoshas are Rajas and Tamas. Rajas tamascha manaso dvaucha dosha udahritav. Next, another important topic which has been asked for previous years is Rogi Pariksha. Darshana Sparshana Prashnehi Parikshedaja Roginam. The examination of a patient has to be done on three ways, that is Darshana, Sparshana and Prashna. Darshana is by means of inspection or observation. By seeing the patient or by seeing the gait or by seeing the limbs or body, such examinations is called as Darshana. Sparshana is by touching or palpation, like assessing the temperature or knowing the crepitus. Such all things comes under this Sparshana Pariksha. And Prashna by means of asking, that is a detailed case taking comes under this Prashna Pariksha. So Darshana, Sparshana and Prashna are the threefold examination of a patient. Next is Roga Pariksha. Rogam Nidana Pragrupa Lakshana Upashaya Aptipihi. The disease has to be examined based on the Nidana, that is the causes or etiology of the disease, Pragrupa or Purva Rupa, that is the premonitory symptoms which are present, and Lakshana, the specific signs and symptoms, and Upashaya and Anupashaya, that is the diagnostic test, like in certain conditions on exposure to certain medications or climatic conditions or certain food items, the disease may be getting aggravated or the disease can be relieved. So such things are called as Upashaya and Anupashaya, and Apti or Samprapti is the pathogenesis. It is the identification of how this disease has been manifested. So this Nidana, Prakrupa, Lakshana, Upashaya and Samprapti, by these ways we have to assess or examine the Roga. Desha. Especially deshas are being classified into two, that is Bhumi Desha and Deha Desha. Deha Desha is the anatomical regions which we will be telling, like lateral, medial, posterior, superior, etc. And Bhumi Deha is the habitat or the land region. This Bhumi Desha is again classified into three, that is Jangala, Anupa and Sadharana. Jangala Desha is Vada Bhuishta, that is predominant of Vada dosha will be there, and it is more of like a desert like area. Anupa is Kapholbana, that is Kapha dosha will be predominant and it is like coastal areas comes under this Anupa Desha. And Sadharana is Samamala, that is all the three doshas will be equally distributed in the Sadharana Desha. This is also a 5 marks questions which has been lot of time asked in the previous questions. Next is Kala. Kala is being classified into two, that is Kshanadi Kala and Vyathyavastha Kala. Kshanadi Kala is the normal time which we are using, like a minute, seconds, hours, such timings, and the Vyathyavastha Kala is the stages of diseases, like the Shatkriya Kala or similarly Ama Avastha or Pakwa Avastha, such all comes under the Vyathi Avastha Kala. Next is Aushatha. Mainly Aushathas are being classified into two, that is Shamana Aushatha and Shodhana Aushatha. Shamana Aushatha is the palliative treatment, that is whenever the dosha, dhatu or malas are increased state, we have to get control or we have to decrease that thing, that is called as Shamana. And Shodhana Aushatha is the elimination of the increased or dushita dosha. So there are especially two types of Aushatha, that is Shamana and Shodhana. And the best or the Parama Aushadha among this Shodhana and Shamana for the three doshas has been mentioned. That is, for Vata dosha, Basti is the best Shodhana and Taila is the best Shamana Aushadhi. For Pitta dosha, Virechana and Ghrita is the best, and for Kapha dosha, Vamana and Madhu is the best Shodhana and Shamana Aushadhi. And similarly, for Mano doshas or the diseases pertaining to the mind, the best or Parama Aushadhas are Dhi, Dhairya and Atma Vijnana. Dhi means improving the intelligence, Dhairya improving the courage, and Atma Vijnana self-realization. Pada Chatushtaya or Chikitsa Chatushpada, this is an important concept which you can expect the questions for 10 marks or 5 marks in the exams. So Pada Chatushtaya are Bhishak Dravyan Upasthada Rogi Pada Chatushtayam Chikitsidasya Nirdishtam Pratyekam Tachadurgunam. Bhishak, Dravya, Upasthada and Rogi are the Pada Chatushtaya or Chikitsa Chatushpada. They are considered as the 4 pillars of treatment. So moving with the properties of individual points. First, Bhishak. Dekshas Tirthartha Shastrartho Drishta Karma Shujir Bhishak. The Bhishak should be Deksha, that is alert and disciplined. Tirthartha Shastrartha, he should have a proper base of the theoretical knowledge. Drishta Karma, the physician should have the practical experiences. And Shuji, he should be clean. Cleanliness should be there, or he should be clean. Dravya, Bahukalpam Bahugunam Sambannam Yogyam Aushadam. Bahukalpam, the Dravya should be able to be formulating in different forms like Kwatha or Churna, Arishta, etc. Bahugunam, it should have enormous qualities, and Sambannam, all the good properties which our Dravya should possess should be present, and Yogya, it should be able to be administered to the patient in suitable conditions. Upasthada, the attender or nurse. Anuraktaha Shujir Deksho Buddhiman Parijarakaha. Anurakta means compassion towards the patient. Shuji, he should be cleanliness. Deksha, alert and active, and Buddhiman, intelligence, or he should be able to communicate with the patient as well as the physician. Rogi, the patient. Adhyo Rogi Bhishakvashyo Jnapakaha Satvavanapi. Adhya means rich, or the patient should be able to afford the treatment which is necessary for his condition. Bhishakvasha, he should obey the what all instructions the doctor has been told. Jnapakaha, good memory, or what all his body conditions or the signs and symptoms which are being seen in his body, he should remember and able to tell or communicate with the physician. Sattvavan, he should be able to tolerate all the medications and treatments which are being given to him. So this is the Pada Chatushtaya. The Bhishak, Dravya, Upasthata and Rogi are the Pada Chatushtaya, and each of them are having 4 qualities each. Next is Roga Bheda. This is also an important topic. You can expect a 10 marks or 5 marks question from this topic. So Roga Bheda, especially these rogas are classified into 2. First, that is Sadhya and Asadhya. Sadhya means the curable diseases and Asadhya means incurable diseases. Sadhya rogas are again classified into 2, that is Susadhya or Sukha Sadhya, that is which is easily curable, and Kritra Sadhya, that diseases which are curable but with some difficulty. And Asadhya rogas are those which are incurable, and they are again classified into 2, that is Vyapya and Anupakrama. The properties of Sukha Sadhya, that is Sarva Aushadha Kshame Dehe, that the body of the patient should be able to tolerate all the treatments, and the patient should be Yuvana Pumso, that is young patient, or the not much aged patients will be able to be recovered early. And Jitatmana, the patient should have control over his sense. Amarmaga, the disease not affected the marma. Alpa Hetu, Alpa Agrarupa and Alpa Rupa. If the Hetu, Purva Rupa and Rupa are very mild, it is good or easy for management. Anupadrava, there is no complications. Then Atulya Dosha Desha Ritu Prakriti. If the dosha is opposite to Dosha, Desha, Ritu and Prakriti, then it is very easy for the management. Pada Sampati, as the Bhishak, Dravya, Upasthata and Rogi are present, and the 16 qualities which are mentioned for them is being present, then it is well good. and graheshu anuguneshu, graha is not contrary in the condition, and eka dosha marga, that is 3 types of roga margas are mentioned, and if this disease is being involved by only one roga marga, then it is sadhya, and nava, that is acute onset of a disease. Such all things are present in a condition, then this disease is very easy for the management. Next is krichra sadhya. Shastradi sadhanaha krishraha sankare cha tado gataha. If shastradi sadhana or surgery or other interventions are required for management or curing the disease, such diseases are considered as krichra sadhya, that is easy to cure but with some difficulty, and they will be having mixture of features, like certain features of the sukha sadhya will also be seen in the krichra sadhya roga. Next is yapya roga. Sheshatvad ayusho yapyaha patyabhyasad viparye. So for the long time or till the person is alive, he has to be on the patya abhyasa. If he is not following the patya, then the disease condition will be getting aggravated, and if he is following the patya aharas and viharas, he can manage or control the disease in that particular state. But we cannot cure the disease, but we can just manage the disease. That condition is called as yapya roga. And anupakrama, the disease which is incurable. Syad sthido, that is which has been stayed for a long period of time. Atyante viparye, that is the features which are just opposite to that of sukha sadhya vyati, and the disease in which the ausukya, moha, arati, etc. are being seen, and Arishta lakshanas or the fatal signs and symptoms are being seen, and the loss of sense organs or the perception of the sense organs is not proper. Such conditions, the disease is incurable. Next is Tejedartha Rogi. You can expect 5 marks or 3 marks questions from this topic. The patients whom we should not treat or the treatment should be rejected are the person who are Bishak Puber Dushtam Tesham Dusham Dusham. That is the person who is hated by the physician and the king. Also the person who is hating the physician or the king and who hates himself, such person. Hinopakarana, the person who is not able to afford the treatment, and Vyagra, who is busy with other activities and who cannot take care of his health or treatment. Avitheya, who is not obedient. Gatayusha, already the signs and symptoms of arishtas or fatal signs has been seen in the body. Chanda, who is evil mind. Shokatura, who is always on grief. Bhiru, full of fear. Kritakna, who is ungrateful, and Vaidyamanina, who thinks himself as a physician and not obeying the physician. Such persons we should not give the treatment. These are the main topics from the first chapter which can be asked for the examination. Moving with the second chapter, Dinacharya Adhyaya. As you know, Dinacharya Adhyaya is being having 2 main contexts. That is, first topic is Dinacharya and the next one is regarding the Sadvritta. So from the Dinacharya, you can expect 10 marks or 5 marks or 3 marks question. Each Dinacharya can be asked, or in total the whole Dinacharya can be asked for a long essay. So from Dinacharya, Dine Dine Charya Dinacharya. The Dina word means day and Charya means regimen. So what all things we have to perform during the daytime is mentioned in this Dinacharya. So first is Pradarodhana, that is getting up in the morning. That is Brahma Muhurta, one has to get up. That too, a healthy person has to get up in order to prevent his health or for the Swastha Rakshana. And keeping in view of his body condition, he has to do the Shauja Vidhi. And after doing the Shauja Vidhi, one has to do the Dantathavana. Dantathavana has to be done using the twigs of Arka, Negrodha, Khadira, Karanja, etc. And the thickness of the twig should be equal to the thickness or equal to the tip of one's little finger. And it should be having a 12 Ankula length. And the tip should be chewed first and then has to be taken for the brushing. And the twig should be having the Kashaya, Katu or Tikta Rasa Dravyas. And this Dandathavana is contraindicated in persons who are having Ajirna, Vamathu, Shwasa, Kasa, Jwara, Ardita, Trishna, Asyapaga, and the diseases or rogas of Hridaya, Netra, Shira and Karna. Next, after the Dandadhavana, one has to perform the Anjana. Two types of Anjanas are being mentioned, that is Sauviranjana and Rasanjana. Sauviranjana has to be applied daily to the eyes and it is good for the eyes. And Rasanjana has to be done weekly once, that is Saptaratra we have to do this Rasanjana. And though the chakshu or the eyes is having predominance of Agni Mahabhuta, it will be affected by the Shleshma because of the sthana. So in order to remove the secretions or the kapha dosha, we have to apply this Rasanjana. And after Rasanjana or after Anjana, one has to do Navana, Anjana, Navana, Gandusha, Dhuma and Tampula. And there are certain contraindications for Tampula, that is Kshada, Pittasra, Ruksha, Utkupita Chakshu, that is conjunctivitis condition or inflammatory conditions of the eyes, Visha, Murcha, Madartha, Shosha. Such persons are considered as Apatya, or that persons should not go for the Tampula Charvana. After performing these things, one has to do the Abhyanga. Abhyanga has to be done daily and it helps in relieving the age, or it delays the aging and it relieves the tiredness, Sramapaha. It is Drishti Prasada, helps in improving the vision. Pushtikrit, that is nourishes the body. Ayuhu, prolongs the age. Swapnakrit, it helps in inducing good sleep. Sutvaktakrit, that is improves the skin tone. Datyakrit, stability of the body will be produced, and especially Shira, Shravana and Pada has to be done the Abhyanga daily. Abhyanga is contraindicated in persons such as Kaphagrasta, that is increase of Kapha-dosha, Krita Samshuti just after the Panchakarma or Shodhana Karma, and Ajirna condition. After Abhyanga, one has to go for the Vyayama, that is exercise. Vyayama helps in giving the Laghava, lightness of the body. Karma Samarthya, it increases the work capacity. Deeptakni, that is Agni Deepti. Medasaha Kshayaha, it helps in burning out the fat. Vibhakta Ghana Gatratum, that is it help in producing a good shape for the body. And this Vyayama is contraindicated in conditions or the persons such as Vada Pittamayi, the person who are having Vada and Pitta Roga, Bala, children, Vriddha, elders, and the person who is having Ajirna. And how to perform this Vyayama is being mentioned, that is Artha Shaktya Nishevyastu. One person has to perform Vyayama by his Artha Shakti, that is half of his strength has to be taken for performing this Vyayama. And the person who is Belipihi, who is of full strength, and Snigdha Bhojipihi, who is on regularly on Snigdha Bhojana, such persons in Shitakala and Vasanta, that is Hemanta, Shishira and Vasanta Ritu, he can perform this Vyayama up to his Artha Shakti. Mandameva tato anyada, and in other seasons or in other ritus, and the persons who are not that much strong or belibhi and who is not taking Snigdha Bhojana, one should not do such Vyayama and he should do less only. And after doing this Vyayama, Deham Marded, one should do or undergo mild massage of the body. And what happens if over exercise is being done is being mentioned, that is it will produce as conditions such as Trishna, Kshaya, Pratamaka, that is a variety of Shwasa, Raktapitta, Shrava, Klama, Kasa, Jwara and Chardi will be produced on Ati Vyayama. And a simile or an example for this has been mentioned. The person who is indulging too much of Vyayama, Jagara, Adva, Ratri, Hasya, Bhashya, etc. Sahasas, if a person is doing, then it will make the person perish just like a lion getting died after having vanquishing with an elephant. After Vyayama, one has to perform the Udvartana. Udvartana means the powder massage. Udvartana help in removing the kapha or help in pacifying the kapha dosha, and Medasaha Pravilayanam also help in burning the fat or reducing the Medodhadu. And Sthirikarana Mankana, it brings in stability to the body organs, and Tvak Prasadakara helps in improving the skin complexion. After that, Snana or bathing is being mentioned. Bathing help in improving the Deepana, that is improves digestion. It acts as Vrishya, Ayushya, Urjaprada and Balaprada, and it helps in removing Kantu, Mala, Shrama, Sweda, Tantra, Thread, Daha and Papma. This snana, if the Ushnambu is being poured over the lower part of the body, it will act as Belavaha, that is, it provides strength to the body. And if the Ushnambu is poured over the Uttamanga or on the head, it will be Belahrit, Kesha, Chakshu, that is, for the Kesha and Chakshu, it will be producing some bad effects. And Snana contraindication, it is contraindicated in patients with Ardita, Netra Asya, Karnaroka, Atisara, Atmana, Pinasa, Ajirna and Bhuktavatsu. That is the person who has just taken food. In such conditions, this snana is contraindicated. So till now we have seen the Dinacharya. You can expect the questions as full Dinacharya or individual charyas can be asked for a 5 marks or 3 marks questions. Next topic in this chapter is regarding the Satvritta. So many the causes and conducts has been mentioned. So we can categorize it into physical, social, moral or occupational, etc. And among this Sadvrita, the usually asked question or important topic in this Sadvrita is Dashavitha Papa Karma. The 10 types of bad deeds or Dashavitha Papa Karma is an important topic from this Sadvrita, and usually it have asked in the question papers. So the 10 deeds which we should not do are Himsa, that is causing injury, Steya, stealing, Anyatha Kama, unlawful sexual activity, Paishunya, abusive or harsh speech, Parushavachana, harsh speech, and Anritavachana, speaking untruth, Samphinnalapa, that is speech causing the separation or the friendship will be break, such speech, Vyapada, having the intention of harming others, Abhidya, being jealousy, Drikveparya, finding fault in everything. So these are the 10 deeds which should not be followed, and of these the first 3 are related to the Kaya, that is body, next 4 are related to the speech or Vak, and the last 3 is related to mind or Mana. So this Kaya, Vak and Mana related, these 10 Papa Karmas should be avoided. Next, third chapter, Ritucharya Adhyaya. In this chapter, the first initially the classification of Ritus and also the Ayanas has been mentioned, that is Dakshinayana and Uttarayana. The features of Dakshinayana and Uttarayana can be asked for the exams, and similarly any one of the Ritucharya may also be asked for 5 marks in the question paper. So this 6 Ritus are being present, that is Shishira, Vasanta, Grishma, Varsha, Sharat and Hemanta. And the masas, 12 masas are there. One Ritu will be having 2 masas, that is Shishira comprising of Makha and Falguna, Vasanta, Chaitra and Vaishakha, Grishma, Jyeshta and Ashadha, Varsha, Shravana and Bhadrapada, Sharat, Ashwini and Kartika, and Hemanta, Margashirsha and Pausha. Moving with the properties of Adana Kala. Adana Kala is also known as Uttarayana, and the Ritus which are coming under this Kala are Shishira, Vasanta and Grishma. And this Kala is, takes away the human strength, that is Atyartha, Tikshna and Ushna, Ruksha are the properties which are being seen, and Saumya Gunan Kshependi, the sun will be more potent or more powerful in this Kala, and it will be controlling over all the Saumya Gunas of the earth, and the Tikta, Kashaya and Katu Rasas will be more predominant, and Agneya, Adana Kala is considered as Agneya, that is, it is very hot in nature. Next is Visarga Kala. Visarga Kala is also called as Dakshinayana, and the Ritus which are coming under this Kala are Varsha, Sharat and Hemanta. It is called as Visarga Kala because it Belam Visrujati, that is, it gives the strength to the person, and Somaha Balavan. Here the Saumya Dhadus or Saumya Gunas will be becoming more powerful. And Shantatape Mahitale. Already by the Adana Kala, the earth will be so much of hot, or the temperature will be very much high, and that temperature will be cooled in this Visarga Kala, and Amla, Lavana and Mathura rasas are more predominant in Visarga Kala. And the bela of persons in certain ritus has been mentioned. That is, Uttama bela is seen in Hemanta and Shishira Ritu, Madhyama bela in Vasanta and Sharat, and Alpa bela in Varsha and Grishma. Moving with individual Ritucharyas, any one of the Ritucharya you can expect for the exam for 5 marks question. First, Hemanta Ritucharya. The person will be having Uttama Bala in Hemanta Ritu, and there will be Agni Deepti, and if the proper food or proper quantity of food is not consumed by the person, that is Alpa Indhana, then it will lead to the Dhatu Paga. The food will be digested, and later that Agni will be digesting the Dhatu. So Dhatu Paga will happen if proper quantity of food is not consumed. And in this Ritu, Swadu, Amla and Lavana Rasa has to be taken more, and night time is more in this particular Ritu. And in this Ritu, the Aharas to be consumed are Snigdha Rasa, that is Mamsa Rasa which is being Snigdha, Gauda, Achasura, Sura, Godhuma Pishta, Masha, Ikshu, Kshira Vikritis, Navanna, Vasa, Taila, etc. can be taken. Then the viharas or the things which we have to perform in Hemanta Ritus are Abhyanga and Murthini Taila with Vatakna Tailas has to be done. Vimardhana, Niyutta, Padakhada, etc. can be done. Snana, Lepa, Dhumana, embrace of the loving young women. Shaujakarya has to be done using Sukhodaka. And Arka Kirana Sweda, that is basking in the sun, has to be done. And Padatranam Sarvada, always use the footwears. And person has to stay in the underground cellar because of the cold climate in the atmosphere, and he should warm the room with burning charcoal, and he won't be affected by the cold. And also the bedding also, like Pravara, Jina, Kaushaya, etc. bedding has to be done for comfortable sleep. Next is Shishira Ritucharya. The Hemanta Ritucharya has to be followed in Shishira also, and in this Shishira Ritu, the cold and dryness will be more than that of Hemanta Ritu. Next is Vasanta Ritucharya. In Vasanta Ritu, the Kapha Prakopa will be happening, and the person will be having Mantakni, and because of this Mantakni, different varieties of rogas will be produced. So we have to perform Tikshna, Vamana and Nasya in order to remove the Kapha dosha. Lakhu Ruksha Bhojana has to be taken. Shleshmana Mulbanam for removing the Shleshma, Vyayama, Udvartana, Akhada, etc. has to be done. Snana has to be done, and after Snana, Lepana with Karpura, Chandana, Aguru, etc. has to be done. And one has to reside in the forest or gardens during the daytime. And Aharas which are mentioned in this Vasanta Ritu are Purana, Yava and Godhuma, Kshaudra, Jangala, Shulyapuk, that is Jangala Mamsa which is done Shulyapuk or barbecue kind of preparation. Then Sahakara Rasa, Asava, Arishta, Stithu, Madvika, Madhu, Shringa Berampu, Sarampu, Madhvambu, Jalatampu, like different varieties of Madhya or Paniyas has to be taken. Grishma Ritucharya. In general, the sun rays will be becoming more powerful in Grishma Ritu, and the person will be becoming more uncomfortable because of the increased or raised temperature. And because of this increased temperature, the Kapha dosha will be getting decreased and Vada dosha will be getting strengthened or increased. So in such conditions, the Lavana, Katu and Amla rasas has to be avoided, and Vyayama, exposure to sun, such things also has to be avoided in Grishma Ritu. And intake of Mathura, Lakhu, Snigdha, Drava Aharas has to be taken. Snana done with cold water. Saktu Prayoga is mentioned in this Grishma Ritu. Madhya is contraindicated in Grishma, and if a person who is accustomed to Madhya can take a little quantity of Madhya with more of water, if else it will leads to different types of complications. And the aharas which a person has to take in Grishma Ritu are Shali Anna with Jankala Mamsarasa, rasa preparations like rasala, raga, khandava, etc. Then panaga known as panchasara, and cool water like prepared with karpura, etc. can be used. And also the food items like shashanga kirana, rajani or such panakas, such all things can be taken. And in the night one person has to take mahisha kshira, which is very cool in nature and helps in the sleeping. And during the daytime in Grishma Ritu, one has to reside in a forest which is being surrounded by flowers, the walls being prepared by or made by clothes dripping with water, surrounded by sprouts, flowers, fruits, etc. And one has to take nap, or Divaswapna is indicated in Grishma Ritu. And in the night time one has to stay in an open terrace, and the mind should be relaxed, and he has to do the lepana with chantana, and he has to apply thin clothes and garlands, etc. Next is Varsha Ritucharya. The Varsha Ritu, the Agni will be debilitated in the Grishma Ritu, the Manthagni will be present, and again the decrease of the Agni will be happening because of the doshas. The doshas also will be getting affected because of the thick clouds which is full of water, the cold wind having snow, or the warmth of the earth and soreness, and also the dirty water of the rain. So because of all these things the dosha will be affected, and this will in turn reduces the Agni. So Agni Mandhya will be present in Varsha Ritu. So in such condition the dosha Anyonya Dushana will be happening, and such conditions we have to remove the dosha. So for dosha Harakriya or Shodhana Karma has to be performed in the Varsha Ritu. And also as Manthagni is present, we have to increase the Agni. So Agni Deepti Kara Aharas or the treatment has to be done in Varsha Ritu. The Shodhana has to be done, and after the Shodhana Karma, Asthapana Basti has to be done, especially in Varsha Ritu. The Aharas which are good for the reducing the Pitta dosha, Vata dosha and Pitta has to be taken in Varsha Ritu, and the Jala or the water which is being boiled and cooled has to be taken. And in Adi Durdina, the especially very cloudy days, the Sneha Dravyas has to be taken. And in Varsha Ritu, a Padachari, that is the person should not move on by walking, and he has to be with Surabhi, that is good scented or good clothes has to be applied. And the contraindications, or one should not take Nadi Jala, Udamantha, Ahaswapna and Atapa, Bashpa, Shita, Shikara, these all has to be avoided or is contraindicated. Next is Sharat Ritucharya. The person will be accustomed to the cold of the Varsha Ritu, and sudden exposure to the warm rays of the Sharat will be happening. So it will lead to the Pitta Prakopa. So in such conditions we have to go for Tikta Krida, Virechana and Rekta Mokshana. And also Tikta, Madhura and Kashaya Rasa predominant aharas has to be taken. And when the person is having Shuddh or when he is hungry, Lakhu and Anna Lakhu aharas should be consumed, and especially Shali, Mudga, Siddha, Dhatri, etc. And also Jangala Mamsa can be used in Sharat Ritu. An important topic which will be asked in the question paper regarding this Sharat Ritu is Hamsodaka. Hamsodaka is the water which is being heated by the hot sun rays during the daytime, and it will be cooled by the moonlight during the night time. And also by the Agastya Nakshatra, this water will be done the Nirvishikarana, and it is considered as Shuchi, Nirmala and Malajit, and it is not Abhishanti and not Ruksha also, and it is considered as Amrita for drinking and other purposes. So in Sharat Ritu, other than that, the person has to spend the evening times in the terrace, and he has to do the lepa with chantana, ushira, karpura, etc. And also he is advised to wear the garlands of pearls, shining dress, etc. And in Sharat Ritu, the certain contraindications mentioned are Tushara, Kshara, Sauhitya, that is excessive intake of food, Dathi, Taila, Vasa, Tikshna Madhya, Atapa, Divaswapna, Purovada, etc. are contraindicated. So the doshas which are getting Chaya, Prakopa and Prashamana in each Ritus is being described. That is, in Shishira Ritu, Kapha, Chaya will be happening and the Kapha dosha will be getting Prakopa in Vasanta and Prashamana in Grishma Ritu. Vada dosha will be attaining Chaya in Grishma and Prakopa in Varsha and Prashamana in Sharad. And the Pitta dosha will be attaining Chaya in Varsha Ritu, Prakopa in Sharat Ritu and Prashamana in Hemanta Ritu. And in each Ritu there are certain descriptions given that a particular rasas and guna of aharas which has to be used. That is, for example, Shishira Ritu, Madhura, Amla, Lavana aharas with Snigdha and Ushna guna has to be taken. Similarly, in Vasanta Ritu, Katu, Tikta, Kashaya rasas and Ruksha, Ushna guna has to be taken. Such different rasas and gunas of the dravyas or aharas has been mentioned. But though this all has been mentioned, the person has to take all the 6 rasas in all the Ritus. And what all rasas are being mentioned in a particular Ritu, that has to be taken in more predominant quantity. Next is Ritu Santi, another important topic from this chapter. Ritu Santi is the last 7 days and the first 7 days of 2 consecutive Ritus. So in this time or during this Ritu Santi, we have to taper the previous Ritucharya and we have to accept the upcoming Ritucharya. So the discontinuing gradually and succeeding the Ritucharya gradually is being done. And if it is not being done, this gradual tapering and gradual increasing of the Ritucharyas is not done, then it can lead to Asatmeja Vikaras. Thus we completed a portion of fast track revision capsule. Don't forget to subscribe the channel for continuous updates.